with Chris Strickland for your opening statement.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for letting me be here today. My name is Chris Strickland. I am a lifelong resident of Hall County. I'm a school teacher. And I moved to Hall County because it was a great place to live after I finished my college work. Like I said, I grew up here and I wanted to raise my children in the county like Hall County, raise my family. I'm running to be the state representative for South Hall County because I am worried about the inability of our state legislature to protect the great county of Hall County. In fact, some of their decisions have led to some problems here in Hall County. That problem is that our state legislature has a spending problem. In fact, I would call it an addiction, if you'd like. It needs sort of a 12-step program to get rid of it. Maybe we should go to a few meetings. But that spendaholic philosophy that we now have in our state government is going to hurt Hall County, and it's going to devastate Hall County. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about the fact that it took 140 years for state spending in Georgia to get to $14.5 billion, and it only took 6 more years for it to get to $21 billion. That's a spending problem, folks. We are spending money left and right, but we have no earthly idea how we're going to pay for any of that spending. So what do? We vote for budgets that contain austerity cuts. And let me tell you something right here and right now. There is nothing austere about cutting education. It is downright foolish. And anybody who does so at their own peril. You can't cut education. You cut education and you don't build schools, you build prisons. And I'd rather have a school in my backyard than a prison in my backyard any day. Anyone over the last 6 years who has voted for that state budget has voted to increase property taxes in Hall County. And my opponent will tell you that property taxes is simply a function of local governments. But you know, and I know, and James knows, that when you vote for a budget that contains unfunded mandates and $21 million of austerity cuts to Hall County alone, you are voting to increase property taxes and voting to increase taxes on the people who can afford it the least. Yes, that's right. I'm calling my opponent a tax and spend liberal, because that's what he is. I've known James for a long time. James is a good guy. He's got great standing. He's got great character. But over the last 6 years, he has forgotten why he's there. He's forgotten that the people who are important are us. We need a bottom-up government, not a top-down government. Not a representative that does what the speaker tells you to do, not a representative that does what the leadership tells you to do, but a representative that knows what the people of Hall County need, has great spending priorities, and will run for smart solutions for difficult problems. My name is Chris Strickland. I would love to be your state representative. Thank you very much.
James Mills, 3 minutes opening.
Thank you, Martha. Let me just say, first of all, thank you for allowing me to serve. This is the people's seat. It always has been and always will be, and I appreciate the opportunity to have served in this position, and I'm asking once again for your permission and your vote to allow me to serve again. I would like to speak just for a moment about some things that we have done. First of all, if you study American government and state government at all, you will quickly learn that property taxes are decided on a county level. That is done through county commissioners. It's done through county school boards. It is not done by the state legislature. But if you want to take the debate to the state budget, I would love that invitation. Because when you look at the budget we passed last year in the state of Georgia and the budget that was passed in 1996, it is actually less today than what it was in 1996 when you factor in the inflation growth and the population growth. Now you can say we're spending more in the state budget today than we were 5 years, 6 years, 10 years ago. Well, of course we are. Our state has grown. You have more people to serve. You have more people paying taxes. You have more people that you have to fund in a school. You can't have it both ways. You can't say we're a tax and spend liberal government and then say that we should fund a whole lot more in other areas. It doesn't add up. And I'm proud the votes that I've cast in the state legislature. I've cast votes and authored legislation, particularly for Hall County, which every senior citizen was paying school taxes in Hall County. Until years ago, I passed a piece of legislation, particular to Hall County, that if you're 75 years or older, you don't pay school tax anymore on your properties. Guess what? Hall County said we like that. They passed it overwhelmingly. It was law. I said, you know what? Let's reduce that down. Let's go to age 72. We asked Hall County again. I wrote that legislation. They passed it again. If you're 72, you don't pay. I passed legislation this past session to reduce it to age 70. That once you get to age 70, you don't pay property taxes, school taxes anymore on your property taxes. Those are the kind of property tax votes that I've cast, that I've authored, that I'll continue to cast and continue to author if people choose to re-elect me. Thank you so much, and I hope you'll vote for me.
Okay, let's first start with the budget. We got another set of bad numbers that came out regarding in reduced revenue for the state of Georgia. What would you do, if re-elected, to deal with the state budget crisis that we're in right now? And we'll begin with Representative Mills.
Thank you, Martha. Let me just say that right now what the governor has already done is he's issued 6% cuts throughout state government. He asked budget department heads to give him a 3% cut recommendation, a 6% cut, and a 10% cut. We're now at the 6%. The August numbers, state revenues, were down about almost 7%. They just came in. What we need to continue to do is to cut in those departments. The very worst thing that we could do is have a special session a few months before our regular session. A special session will cost $225,000 for 1 week. That's the minimum amount. If it goes more than 1 week, you can multiply it by approximately $50,000 a day. I've not had one constituent, except for one, that being my opponent, who's asked for a special session, because spending $250,000 to try to save money doesn't make sense at this point. Now, if the budget were to continue to get worse and worse, the governor may be in that position. The governor must issue a call for a special session. State legislators can't do that by themselves.
Chris Strickland.
Let me make a prediction to you right now. On November the 5th, there will be a special session. On January the 1st, you'll get your second property tax bill for the first time in Hall County. 3%, 6%, 10% cuts. That's exactly right. That's what the governor recommended. How many of you in your own home budgets, when you find out that you're going to make less money this month than what you planned to make, went and said, well, let me pay 3% less on my home mortgage. Let me pay 3% less on my water bill. Let me pay 3% less on my electrical bill. You do that, they come get you. They take your home away. You can't function like that. We need priority-based spending. So what would I do if you elect me? I would make sure that we implement legislation that prioritizes our budget. So that the next time, and hopefully there won't be a next time, but the next time our state legislature decides they want to spend $2 billion more than we made, we can say, all right, number 21, you got to go. Number 20, you got to go. Because, folks, it's going to be a 10% cut across the board. The 2% education that's already happened and the homestead tax refund that's already frozen, those are gone. And again, your property taxes are going to be going up. And because my opponent and the governor and the House leadership and the Senate leadership refuses to act now and call a special session instead of playing political games, you're going to get a second property tax bill. That's not good leadership for Hall County. That's not what you'll get if you let me to be your representative. You let me to be your representative, I'll vote against a budget that contains austerity cuts and unfunded mandates and causes the property taxes of Hall County taxpayers to go up. It is not a local problem. You cannot blame this on Hall County Commissioner. You cannot blame this on the school board. The blame goes right where it's supposed to go, to the General Assembly and to the governor of the great state of Georgia.